afternoon, Kellen.
Hey,
How would you
Brett.
how would you characterize what Garrett Gilbert was able to do for you yesterday and keep you in your offense? And was that a pretty impressive feat for a guy who's only been here about 3 weeks?
Yeah, I respect the heck out of Garrett, just the way he came in. Not the easiest of circumstances, just coming in a few weeks ago and really being able to pick up things and feeling like we gave ourselves an opportunity to use a lot of our offense. And I think he did a really good job distributing the ball, running the operation. I think he had really good command and presence, and certainly gave us an opportunity to potentially win that thing.
Kellen, we touched on this a little bit earlier with you, but with 4 different starting quarterbacks here in 5 weeks, is this almost like an advanced thesis class or something for you to put together game plans? And is there any way to characterize how different it has been for you from 1 week to the next, not only just to put a game plan in place, but then also call what appear to be much different games?
Yeah. Obviously, every game brings different challenges, whether it's the defense, certainly first and foremost, but obviously, certainly with our personnel, we've dealt with some injuries and dealt with a lot of different things, and so certainly each and every game it feels like a very much of an independent project compared to a flowing from 1 week to the next. But I think guys have handled it well. They've responded. Obviously, we're not where we want to be, but I feel like we're making progress. I feel like we do feel optimistic the last 2 weeks playing at Philly, and this week I think we're playing the right way, and we got the right mindset, we got the right approach. I think we just got this turnover thing. I'm sure someone will ask a question about the turnover thing. I think this turnover thing, we just got to find a way to get over this thing, and they come in many different ways, but they come in really impactful ways, and we got to find a way to avoid these turnovers and finish some drives with some touchdowns rather than field goals. And we're going to give ourselves a much different opportunity, a much better opportunity if we handle those two things.
Kellen, I'm curious, as you've worked through these 4 quarterbacks, obviously the last time it's happened here was when you were one of the quarterbacks. Did you reach out to Linehan at all and just kind of pick his brain? Hey, what's the best way to go about this? How do you handle these sort of situations, since he was the guy you've known and you've been around for a while?
I didn't reach out to Scott. He probably doesn't want to relive all that 2015 fun that we experienced. So no, but obviously, yeah. I mean, obviously, 15 we were a part of that. With I ended up playing towards the end, but obviously, it's just unique. It's just unique. I think, fortunately for us, I think the guys have handled it well. Obviously starting with Dak, going to Andy, going to Ben, going to Garrett, getting Coop ready potentially as well. And so I think these guys have handled it well. Obviously, certainly it's never easy, just because you want guys to have those reps, have those experiences, just so they can build those the repertoire and the time on task. And so we just got to keep working through this thing and keep finding ways to prepare and get better.
In the run game, are the boxes different when Zeke runs compared to when Pollard runs? Can you tell a noticeable difference when you got Zeke back there and then the defense is kind of loading up and gearing up to stop him?
Yeah, I think just the flow of the game. Sometimes different guys get different opportunities. Obviously, you're trying to balance out those two guys. We ran the ball on 6 times on 3rd downs this game, which I think was a positive. We were able to take advantage of some opportunities there, and Tony ended up being in on a couple of those that kind of popped. And so, hey, Tony's running really well. I think Zeke's running really well. Zeke, just was kind of the victim of some muddy looks, and sometimes those are the dirtiest, hardest 3-yard games, and we need them. And so, I think both guys are doing a really good job. We think they're both doing a really good job, and we just got to keep giving them more and more opportunities, whether it's in the run game or the pass game as well. And so, Zeke had a nice catch and run on one pass play in the middle of the field where he got a explosive play out of it. And so, they're doing a good job.
Sorry about that. I was on the wrong screen. Garrett seemed pretty comfortable. Kellen, did you agree that he was pretty comfortable? And And if so, did it surprise you that he was that comfortable?
I think the times always been around Garrett, he just has that calm, confident personality. I mean, first play was a run. We never talked about him keeping it. TJ Watt was ready to, take Zeke's head off, and he pulled it and ran it and saved ourselves 2 yards. The third play of the game on third down, he made a little adjustment at the line of scrimmage and threw the ball to Amari there on that big play. And so, from the start, I think he was comfortable, he was ready, he was prepared, and he certainly gave us a really good opportunity there.
And if you get Andy back, do you feel like this maybe settles down the quarterback situation a little bit because you feel like you've got your starter and a backup who's done a little something?
Yeah, certainly. Andy's done a lot of good things, and hopefully, once all the health aspects of this thing for Andy get squared away, we're fired up to have him back and get him back going. And then obviously Garrett, he took advantage of an opportunity, and I think everyone took notice of that. And I was really excited for him.
Kellen, how much did Gilbert playing with different teams, different systems, kind of help him get ready for yesterday's efforts?
Yeah, certainly. I think just the more exposure you've had throughout this league. Obviously, Garrett's been on a few different teams. I think it's just his ability to translate as quickly as possible, and I think he did a phenomenal job of that. A week or two into this thing, I mean, he was already talking in our language in many ways, and it was really impressive. And when he got his opportunity, when he got out there and practiced this week, he was prepared. He was dialed. He had great command of the whole thing, and he really translated well to the game.
Obviously, CD's had a really good year for you. What's the teaching point on that fumble there? Is it keep the ball tighter to the body, or what's the situation there with him?
Yeah, that's really the most challenging one possibly, for a receiver. You catch, and you're trying to, build momentum moving forward. You're trying to split two defenders, and obviously tighter to your body, and then ultimately if you got to get a two-hand cover there, you get a two-hand cover there with all the traffic. But learning experiences.
Having to cancel now Wednesday's practice, what did the script of that day kind of look like for you guys on the field? What were you guys hoping to accomplish with that bye week session?
Yeah, usually just a little bit of a self-scout opportunity just to kind of reevaluate ourselves and, sometimes just get back to a little bit of basics with some stuff, just reestablish some things that maybe you get into such game plan oriented stuff that maybe fall back on some basics. But, it is what it is. Obviously, it's unique circumstances, certainly with so many things in this season this year. And so, it is what it is, and we're kind of used to having to adjust on the fly.
Speaking of adjusting on the fly, pregame warm-ups yesterday, losing your starting center. You guys spent a lot in recent weeks working on your snap to quarterback exchange procedures. How do you think that particular area of the game went, and how Joe was able to step in overall?
Yeah, obviously another unique circumstance. Right as the coin flip is occurring, find out Joe's gonna need to start at center, and so I thought Joe handled it really well. He proves that he was prepared. He really got very limited reps with himself, specifically at center, but certainly with Garrett as well. And so I thought those two guys, really the operation was really clean, and Joe does a good job in there. He gave us an opportunity. I think both those guys, I think did a great job of just handling the whole operation on offense, with the communication at the line and with the perimeter as well, and certainly gave us a chance.
Kellen, you've seen Tony come in from last year and just the kind of running back he's been. Which areas of his game have you seen evolve the most and improve?
I think it's just probably just confidence. Like anyone, his decisiveness when he sees it, he hits it, and I think he's taking advantage of those things, and he's doing a really phenomenal job of it. There's a few opportunities in that game. Certainly, everyone saw that. Hey, as soon as he sees it, he turns on the jets and he goes, and there's conviction with him, and he earns more opportunities as we go, and we feel really fortunate to have Zeke and Tony back there.
When Tony was drafted, it was kind of assumed that he was going to be more of a situational type player, catching the ball and things like that. Do you think he's developed more into just a complete running back now, from catching, running, and blocking as well?
Yeah, I think obviously going through the draft process with Tony, he played a lot of receiver, and that's just the way the personnel worked at Memphis. They had Henderson as the running back, and Tony was kind of that second guy. They're trying to find a way to get him the ball, and so they ended up playing him in a lot of receivers. So that was a lot of the film, was projecting him at running back, seeing and having evidence of knowing what he did as kind of a slot receiver, kind of jack of all type guy. And so I think we've since the first day he showed up, I think we've all been impressed with his ability to truly just be a true first, second, third down running back. And obviously there's some other things that as this thing evolves, you can use him a little bit more. We do have, we've had CD, so we do have 11 personnel, so we probably don't need him as much to be that slot receiver like, he potentially could if he ever needed to. But, he's done a really nice job for us. He's a versatile guy, and I think his feel for the game is, just feel and instincts are continuing to grow.
Ernest, did you have a question? If not, we'll go to David Moore.
Kellen, understanding, I mean, you have limited time and you were getting two quarterbacks ready for this last game, but with Andy being healthy going forward, you're going to go back to him. Did you stay in contact with him last week at all, or is this the week where, with an extra week before the Minnesota game, you really kind of get with him and go through some things to get him ready when he comes back next week?
Yeah. I mean, obviously touch base with him through the week. Really, not about football. It has nothing to do with football right now for him. Making sure everything, from just a health standpoint, obviously with the situation he's in both regards. And so, checking on him and then as this thing progresses, obviously once he feels comfortable with that and he starts turning the page and getting ready to go again, we'll turn the Jets right back on the football stuff and start talking about Minnesota.
We'll go ahead and finish up with Todd.
First, real quick, how is Andy feeling? Is he doing okay from the COVID stuff, not the concussion, I guess?
Yeah. I don't want to speak too much on his health. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, and then with Doug Nussmeier, how would you describe his teaching style, and how do you when he's had four different quarterbacks, you too as well, but Nuss being their position coach and work with them, pretty extensively. How would you describe his teaching style?
Yeah, Nuss, enthusiasm, energy, detailed. I think he's done a phenomenal job. Just obviously it's unique when you got 4 or 5 guys already this year. 5 guys really with Coop. 5 guys that we had to get ready for as a starter, potential starter, and so. You got to figure out each and every guy, learning styles, how they best learn, get a feel for each guy, help them improve and get prepared each and every week. And it's been a challenge, but I think we've had a really good group, a bunch of really good guys that handle all these circumstances really well. And Nuss has done a great job of leading the charge.